Hey everybody, welcome back. It's Charlie. We're doing a Temple420 Bible study and Torah tour. I got my Torah out today because we're going to do a tour through the burning bush as we're talking about fire and wood and a bush that speaks to you. Welcome to Getting High with God. Just believe it. He's the Most High. Bring Him an offering of food. Get Him high first and then get yourself high. Serve Him only and first. So we're going to change our downcast, which was Cain and Abel, to an upcast. At that point, we're going to turn an unhappy face to a happy face because we're going to figure out, and we did, what is right in God's eyes. What is good in the coach's eyes. So we're finishing up Exodus 3. God says to Moses, you are going to go to Pharaoh, and you're going to say this. Please let us go on a 3-day journey in the wilderness, and we shall bring offerings to Hashem our God. It is not an animal, we stink. It is the aroma of the burning piece of wood that covers up our smell. I know that the king of Egypt will not allow you to go. Now God says that. I know the king of Egypt will not allow you to go, except through a strong hand. Now the words I know in French, because it's frankincense, it has a lot to do with delight and French and the franc and the sanctuary. So at that point, I know is je connais, which is Cana as in Cana Bosom. So I connais that the king of Egypt will not allow you to go except through a strong hand, palm branch. I shall stretch out my hand, and I shall, now remember this is God talking, I shall stretch out my hand, and I shall strike Egypt with all my wonders that I shall perform in its midst, which is amazing to think that He's going to do all of this. And then we have the reminders of what He did to the plagues in the 10 plagues in Egypt. And after that, He will send you out, which is exactly what my wife did. She said, get out. I'm like, duh, we have an entire system of cannabis. God would never say, buy me pot. I'm like, He says it in the entire book. But that is the separation. That is the difference between believers and unbelievers. It's not about Christianity anymore. In fact, Christianity is actually, if you believe in Jesus, one, that's a Greek name for Emmanuel. Two, you don't know the Father's name because it's Hashem. You don't serve the God only because you praise Jesus. And at that point, we should be saying, Baruch Hashem. So, I shall grant this people favor in the eyes of Egypt. I shall grant. Free. Isn't grant free money? Like if you went to college and you had a grant, you go, I get to go to school for free. So free grant is very close to fray grant. And the E in Hebrew, which is really an H, is hey. So you get F-R-A-Y or F-R-A grant, as in the favor. So we're learning a lot about the linguistics of how God actually created us to ask, seek, and knock. Knock is another interesting word. Think about Enoch and Cana as you learn the CH and H. I shall grant this people favor in the eyes of Egypt, so that it will happen, that when you go, you will not go empty-handed. Baruch Hashem.